TBR, FTL, MC, ARC, ETL, CR, slow burn. Did any of what I just said make sense to you? If not, then you're in the right place. Are you like me, very new to TikTok, getting back into reading after a very long hiatus? Well, maybe there's a few terms that you haven't picked up on because you just haven't been online. And that's okay. And I want to make sure that you know that that's okay because I'm here for you. I'm going to look up all these key terms and figure out what they mean for you in context and what have you. And yeah, I'm here to teach you. So let's start off with TBR. So TBR or TBR list stands for to be read. So it is a book or a compilation of books that you intend to read someday. Does this mean you have to read it urgently? No, it does not. It just means that you intend to get to it eventually. However long that takes for you, my love. It can take you a week, it can take you 10 years. It's fine. You'll get to it eventually. So from TBR, let's go to LR, CR, and NR. So that just stands for last read, current read, and next read. You might have seen this like on a post where they say, they'll just put the acronyms and a picture of a book. That's just what it means. Next, let's get into MC, FMC, and MMC. These refer to main character, female main character, and male main character. Then we have RTC, review to come. So they might put that next to a book that they have not yet rated, but they want to talk about it, mention it in a video perhaps, and if they just put RTC, it's just the review is coming. They are reading it. It's going to happen. ARC or ARC or Advanced Reader Copy. So that is just a copy of a book that has not been published yet. And it's not the final version. It's just the version that they send out to potential reviewers or to readers so they can give some feedback, see if they're enjoying the storytelling and all of that. And it's just for the author to collect data and make changes to the work before it is finalized. That is an ARC. I'm actually reading an ARC right now, so I have two. I was approved for 2 ARCs, so I'm pretty excited, and I'll get into that about later. Middle grade versus YA. Here where I live, we just have elementary school and then high school, but this is the kids that are in like junior high, middle school, okay? So like 5th to 8th. So that's what, around 10 to 13, maybe, yeah, around 10 to like 13 years old. Whereas YA is young adults. So we're going around 14 to 18. So we're going from like around 14 to 18 years old. That's how I would personally describe it. Other people might have different ages, but so yeah, so that's the ages that I would say. And we have sapphic romance. So this entails a romance between 2 female characters. We also have slow burn. So slow burn romance just signifies a romantic relationship that is not hot and heavy. It takes a long while in the story for them to make their moves, to admit that they like each other, building suspense. Will they? Won't they? Is it gonna happen? That is a slow burn. But when it finally does happen, fireworks, absolutely fireworks. So that is a slow burn romance. Let's get into some tropes. So we have ETL or E2L, which is enemies to lovers. So the characters did not like each other, did not get along, but eventually down the road, they do fall in love. And along with that, we have FTL or F2L, and that is friends to lovers. So they were best friends growing up, or they were next door neighbors, they're friends, friendly, and they eventually fall in love. And isn't that beautiful? Pop quiz, what does DOB stand for? If you said date of birth, sorry to inform you, but you're wrong. We also have some content warnings, so CW or TW. So CW just means content warning, whereas TW means trigger warnings. So a content warning will be like, oh, this book contains violence or gore or something like that, right? Whereas a trigger warning or TW will be more specific, like if you're not okay with, let's say, eating bugs, if eating bugs is mentioned and you're not okay with that, that's going to be listed in a trigger warning. Like if you're not okay with the depiction of somebody eating bugs, don't read this, right? So I'm using that example, but picture like harm to people or um, harmful acts. So yeah, so a trigger warning or TW would be like if somebody is committing harmful acts. So this is for like SA, R, violence against women, things like that. If that would trigger someone, so they would induce like maybe a panic attack or just uncomfortable feelings, like they would like to know beforehand. So that's why you have a trigger warning list so that the reader is informed and can make a decision for their own decision if they would like to go on reading the work or not. And it's up to them and their discretion. And it's very important to include a TW. Now we have ships. So what is a ship? No, it's not what goes on the water. What Jack and Rose were on, that's not a ship, okay? A ship is just a relationship that you would like. So some people ship. Let's talk about Twilight, okay? Team Edward, Team Jacob, yes? You remember this? You remember that era in your life? Or if you weren't alive then, well, dang, okay. But some people were for the ship of Edward and Bella, right? Team Edward. They love Edward. Well, that was a ship, just like the ship for Bella and Jacob. They shipped them together. That is just what that means. Next, we have Golden Retriever, and I'm just going to group these together, Golden Retriever and Black Cat energy. So, no, it's not a book about dogs and cats, okay? The character is referred to as like having Golden Retriever energy. That just means that they're like very, very lovable. They're so sweet, maybe a goofball, just very easygoing. That would be a Golden Retriever. And on the opposite end, you have like a black cat. So if you're described as a black cat, you don't really like to be around people. You're more introverted, kind of hard on the exterior. That is a black cat. Let's talk about trope. What is a trope? I mentioned there popular tropes like enemies to lovers and friends to lovers. A trope is just a recurring theme or idea in books, okay? So like I mentioned earlier, we have enemies to lovers, friends to lovers. Those are very popular tropes. And then we have others that are like, let's say, a one bed trope. So the two main characters are traveling, they stop at an inn because it's late, and then they check in, but guess what? There's only one bed that the characters are going to have to share. So that is a one bed trope because it happens a lot in the books to act as a device to get the main characters to get closer together, right? So we have that. Next, we have one that I'm sure you've heard of if you're ever like scrolling and it's about a romantasy or romance novel. They'll ask for the spice level, and spice just means when a mommy and daddy love each other very much. Those are the scenes I'm talking about. So the romantic scenes, that's a spice level. So if there's only like a hand holding and kissing, then it's going to be like a 1 flame or maybe a 0 flame. Okay. But if we're talking like 50 Shades of Grey, then you know what? You're probably gonna have full flame meter, okay? But then there's a discussion between spice and smut. So a book that would be classified as smut would be one that's main drive or main focus are the spicy scenes. Like that's the main focus, okay? A book with spice is just, it has its own plot that it's following, and the romance takes like a back seat a little bit. But spicy scenes are few and far between. So you'll have a few of those in there. So like Fourth Wing, okay, just for an example. Fourth Wing has spicy scenes in it, right? It has a few spicy scenes, but the the plot overall revolves around the dragons and dragon riding, learning all that, right? So spice versus smut. It stands for drink, outfit, and book. Yeah, I know. These kids, I tell you, all the things they come up with. But yes, so you'll literally make a post, let's say like a picture post or a video on TikTok. DOB, drink, picture with your drink, all your outfit, like, oh, look at this green sweatshirt I have, and I'm wearing joggers, but you don't need to see them, okay? And then your book. So you just hold up your book too. And that is your DOB. And that I just learned about like last week. I didn't know that was a thing. Is that new? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, so that's all. That's it for me today. It's just a quick little video. I just wanted to inform some of you guys about some of these things that these kids are coming up with, so you're not out of the loop. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you get notified every time I post. All right, bye. Thanks for watching.